Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Sorry for the tardiness. Got into a lengthy conversation. But welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, July 18, 2023, about a little after 3:30 p.m. Eastern. This Friday, we're having a reverse aging health call. Michael Thomas has developed something that just about everybody that can access it will access it and use it. It's a breakthrough, and well, I'll let him share what it is. See, he'll disappear, and he goes into heavy-duty research about different things, and then he comes up with a formulation. Then he puts it together. So he'll be on this coming Friday at around 9 p.m. Eastern. The call tomorrow night, Wednesday, I'll be able to discuss some things about, I won't be able to discuss some things, and I'll be able to discuss other things. So about this, the monetary transition of the planet and the people. And, you know, there's been a lot of fraud perpetrated on the people during this process, by the way, and a lot of people who have been dishonest and deceived a lot of people. So we want to, I'm going to set the slate clean, so to speak, so that people have a really clear comprehension of this transition, of what's really taking place, because it's so confusing to so many people. And there's such a mix match. You know, the same stories go on and on and on and on. And they don't bear any fruit whatsoever. And we're getting toward the end, at least of this phase. So I'll be discussing that on the Wednesday night Time for Change calls. Now, when we're all transitioning. Some people kind of know it, I'd say. You know, there's, based upon the letters I've received from around the world, that there seems to be there is a comprehension. And I believe there's some level of awareness, things that have been, I think people have been experiencing these things for quite a long time. And a lot of people have been misdiagnosed with the Draco medical system on this planet and have gone through unnecessary pain and suffering. But I believe it's accelerated. It's gone up. Now, you imagine when something is stretched, right? It's like when you're not used, like let's just say your muscles, your body, for analogy, and you haven't stretched for a long time. And so you're stiff, and you start an exercise program. And for the first week or two, you're pretty darn sore, and you're stiff, and you start to realize that when your flexibility isn't there at all, and so you have to start stretching your muscles, stretching the body and the ligaments and the tendons to get your body into some balance, right? This is very similar, because we're being stretched, our physical form, more than we've ever been stretched before. Emotional, physical, spiritual. And the stretching is an awakening. Some of the people on the planet will not be able to, they're asleep. They'll go on and incarnate in another life. You see how long it'll take them, because things have changed in the construct of this universe that have taken millennia to progress to this stage, which is complete liberation. Now, here on Earth, we have these signs to some people, because some people are awake enough, they're aware enough, so they know that it's not, your average day. It's something that's happening with their body, something that's changing and shifting. They sense it. They know it's not really medical. It's not a medical situation. It's a spiritual. So as the God stretches within, so shall the body. And since we're moving into 5-dimensional frequencies, based upon our own decisions to do so, which is a big unknown for all of us, but we then move into higher vibrational frequency because we choose to. What does that mean? We begin to start practicing to move ourselves only into the now. Because we realize that everything out there, outside of us, has been researched, has been pursued, the ladder has been climbed, the mountains have been climbed to a certain extent. And we have collectively have discovered that our answers are not out there for the questions, the numerous questions that so many of us have, who have become more spiritually attuned. So the connection with the God is warming up in the body. We've decided, many of us have decided to go within and stay within. It's a challenge. Any habit, when you're going to break a habit, one that you've been doing like second nature for ages, it isn't going to be really, that's it. The habit's gone. So the challenges are from the ego mind that will challenge us continuously to try to keep us buttoned down in the material physical world, which is yesterday or tomorrow. And see, then we realize that that's where we suffer when we stray away from the now into yesterday or tomorrow. We suffer. And since yesterday is dead and gone, all of it, it's dead, gone. It's like an elephant graveyard. It's dead, it's gone. It's bones, literally disintegrating. The future isn't here. So the thing that we realize that we have the now, and that's all we have is the now. And then we continually practice with our breath being in the now. I've said this repeatedly to people. Anybody who is having sleep issues on the planet at this time, there's a lot. Different degrees, okay? Some extreme, some a little bit uncomfortable that, people just they're not sleeping. 2-3 hours off and on, through the night. So what this means is everything's changing. It always does change, but this is rampant change, accelerated change. Not like one step at a time now. It used to be one step at a time, but we're all in this cycle of rapid change, accelerated change in the energetic frequencies of existence. And the rapid change is that because of us going through this energy field that the collective consciousness created, which is boosting high frequency throughout the planet and every life existence on and above and below this planet, flooding in. So it's helping many, assist many, to move more and more towards the inner light, the God within us all. So connecting with that is absolutely phenomenal. There's nothing that once you begin to start connecting and you start feeling this euphoria bubble up through your heart, your chest, You'll feel it. And that's the God that you are. Now, you might not feel it, long. It'll be like little tiny spurts. But once you feel it, it will motivate you to continually stay within and discover the gods that you are. It no longer is going to be, I'll get around to it, right? I'll get around to it. Years ago, I had so many people telling me that they'll get around to it, right? Oh, I'll get around to it. I'll get it done. I'll get around to it. So I made round to it out of wood, and I put on it, and I painted in gold, round to it, and I gave it to people. So whenever they would say to me, "I'll get around to it," I'll get around to it. I gave them around to it and said, "Okay, you already have around to it, so you've gotten around to it. So nothing should be stopping you to go forward." And they got a kick out of it, but the message was strong. So it's now. And no one is in a hurry. This isn't about, jumping on the bandwagon and being in a hurry and rushing. As we know, that damages the soul. So it's more like making the decision to go within, and it's the unknown. Because this transition is massive. It isn't it's not like a halfway transition. It's full boat. The energetic frequencies continue to build in this atmosphere of the planet. And it's everywhere. It's flooding everything. And there's nothing that can escape it. Pure evil is being routed. Not just a little bit, but completely. Liberation means complete. Completely eliminating the pure evil from planet Earth. And we have a bird's eye view, like Hawkeye, we can see it right in front of us, transitioning. And we can feel it in our heart minds. So then when we start realizing that we begin to focus on what we want and what we don't want is gone. And that transition is taking place right now. And do you notice when you start reviewing things and different shift in the frequency. There's a shift. And it's not the same. It's kind of subtle at first. You go, something has shifted, something has changed, however you describe it for yourself. But it's not the way it was. So change is happening all the time. We know that. And anything that changes is not real. We know that too. And the only thing that's real is the divinity, the divineness of the gods that we are within these bodies. That's the only thing that's real. And yet, many of us have not even begun to discover it. So as we progress, because that's what we're doing, we're progressing. And the population increase is paramount, and I'm starting to see that shift. That more and more people are being compelled, by the God within, to procreate more, and in a loving, peaceful cohabitation. Because we're, as a civilization, the days of being against each other, the days of being torn apart, the opposite of unification, chaos, people not understanding things, being misdirected, misguided, misinformed, just adds to it. And more people are discovering that going within, that's where they'll find true freedom. That's where they'll discover the peace that they are. And knowing that we are all one, that every single one of the gods that we are in these bodies are one. It's like I said repeatedly. Those people who stop looking at their smartphones, quit texting on their phones, living on their phones, drop them, put them away, take a break. See how tough that's going to be. Where all you are is with nature, out there, and take a look at what you created. Take a look around you, what you've created. All the good stuff. We know the bad stuff, right? We focus way too much on the bad stuff, on what we don't want, what we don't want to have happen, what we don't want this. Most of us are concentrated, and it's not intentional, but I think it's a habit that humanity has picked up along the way, to focus on the bad stuff, to focus on what we don't want, which is focusing on the bad stuff, okay? Which then breeds the thought of fear, worry, stress, anxiety, which is, and you can look at that and say, that's what happens. It's true. That's what happens. And so it's not, again, a habit that we choose to break, to eliminate. So we go in the opposite direction. Instead of out there, we go within. And the imperativeness to it is to stay in the heart-mind. We don't care to have those continually live in the ego, because that's war, conflict, destruction, death, worry, pain, stress, fear. That's the ego mind. And by going within and staying within and practicing this on a daily basis, whenever the ego mind tries to come in, you leave it alone. You don't engage it. And it might take some tongue biting at first, You might find yourself in situations where you really want to say something because your ego mind is really pushing you, but you say, it's ego mind. I don't care to engage with that. Because you will master the ego mind. For the first time, it will be the servant and you will be the master. Because you can put your mind, you can use it as a phenomenal tool favorably. So this is all about discovery. This civilization is all about discovery. It has been put in a confined area and not allowed to expand itself. That's what's happened. That's what's happened to this civilization. Other civilizations have been through the similar things, who have been liberated. And Earth is now being liberated on all fronts, every avenue and area. Doesn't it make more sense when we collectively look at something, we can see, without judging, that there's a lot of turmoil, right? And a lot of upheaval, a lot of distrust, a lot of dishonesty, a lot of distraction. And you see all the people, and you're watching them on how they're responding to the negative aspects of not having enough, not enough food, no shelter, many different things. And that's all energy. That's all frequency energy. All their thoughts, all their worries, all their stresses, all their fears. Now, photon energy field. And we are running through it right now as a solar system. And as we do this, we're being saturated. So this is very high frequency. That's why the Schumann resonance has been measured to be off the chart several times, which affects us all. So that negative, that worry, that stress, that fear, that anxiety is being met with pure, deep, eternal love, happiness, joy, bliss, tranquility, all coming in. So it's melting away. This has been here for a long time. We all know it. This isn't our first rodeo. None of us. So there's things that we sense. And it's a feeling. There's certain ways that the God that we are within the body tries to or does notify us to get our attention. Communicates with us so that we become clear on something that we're pretty hazy on. You ever been in a situation where at first you were, kind of foggy? It was real foggy. You were confused. Okay. And then all of a sudden it just cleared and it came front and center and it was clear as a bell to you. And you said to yourself, now I get it. So we have this, we have many abilities that we haven't discovered. This is one of them that we're discovering. It's that we know. It's not a guess. It's not a maybe. It's a knowing. I've had a lot of people in the past, just the past several months, telling me it's a knowing. They're confident. It's not ego. It's their confidence is so bright and clear. Their trust and faith in themselves has gone up several rungs. And they go, I know that things are rapidly shifting and changing. I feel it. And not into evil, but into love. And that's what this planet will end up being, is a God planet paradise. You, the God, are the heaven, the kingdom of God in that body. You're everything. All that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You're an omnipotently powerful, supreme, immortal, manifesting being. You always will be. There's no contesting it. Okay? You're a ball of this magnificent, omnipresent, omnipotent power, energy within that body. Now you can see, you kind of start to understand where you're going, where we're going. Okay? We know that we're shifting our perspectives, our understandings of ourselves, our understanding of the now. When you've mastered the now, you're completely free. I'm not talking about fake freedom, okay? That's the fake freedom, right? Like fake meat and fake cheese, all this stuff, fake. It's fake. Fake freedom, which makes you believe on this planet that you're free and you're not. And then we go to a whole new existence. And that's what's happening to humanity. Sure, there's going to be some big, big, big surprises for us. And that's part of our experiencing and gaining more knowledge and understanding. Clearer perspective, non-judgmental. And it's just all about discovery every step of the way. And because we're so deeply grateful that we've had who knows how many lifetimes in physical form. Many, many. And have gained a lot of experience and understanding. That too will come clear. No longer in the shadows will it be. It will be front and center. You heard quite a while ago that the veils are disintegrating, the net on the planet that's kept us in kind of this, what do you want to call it? Kind of a make-believe, an illusion. The funny thing is, we create these illusions so that we can experience. We don't care or choose to know our lives. Okay? We don't care or choose to know our lives. We've been there before. And in physical form, it becomes really boring. It's great at first, but then as time goes by, it becomes really boring. So we purposely create our lives with the different challenges that are sprinkled along the way to see how we respond to them and how we walk through them. And we have many, many, many adventures ahead of us. See, the soul never gets tired. Always remember that. When you say to yourself that you're just really tired, and you might say to people, and I've heard this, that you're not the body, right? But you just feel worn out, tired. That's the ego mind, right? That's the ego mind. And its control over you. So now, do some of us know it? Maybe. We have an inclination that the ego mind is ruling us. And the ego mind isn't an enemy. It's a tool, it's a vehicle that's teaching us. And we have amassed such major experience, lifetime after lifetime. Can you feel it? You notice that it's kind of like you're turning the corner and you're on the home stretch, and things have progressed to the state where you more and more and more are feeling light, less encumbered. Feeling light and less encumbered. It's subtle, but you feel it. It comes in. And actually it's coming from the inside out. And it feels really good, doesn't it? And some people will say, they'll say, why am I feeling this way? Out of the clear blue. And they may not know the connection. But they go, I haven't felt this way. This is wild. Because then you start to understand how heavy it's been on this planet for so long. See, we're transitioning from murder, death, kill planet, slave planet, to a Shangri-La, to a God planet paradise. That's not a false vision. That's a fact. And the civilization is transitioning. Now, I'm not saying that all of them are, because of how they've been programmed in their lives, this life, probably many more, many before. But it's the programming. So, when the programming is deep-seated, a lot of people just are not going to make that turn, right? And others will. Believe it or not, there's people on this planet that understand that the body is not them, that they know the body's temporary, and they communicate with the body on a continual basis, daily. And then the time comes where they say that they're going to leave the body. And that's why, how could you be bored with this life with all of this transitioning? How could you be bored with life anyway? Because you're in the ego mind. And ego mind's never satisfied. And it's very insecure. And it conjures up all kinds of thoughts and throws them at you. And oftentimes, you ever said to yourself that your mind's playing tricks on you? And can you feel the heaviness dissipating? Subtle, but it's accelerating. Some of us will fight it. Some of us will fight it. In the quiet time of this meditation, I want everybody to focus on if you can depict evil, right, which is dishonesty, and you depict it how you view it, and then you're watching, but you understand you're not judging, you're just laying back, kicked back, deep in the body, totally relaxed, still as a statue, focused on your breath and listening. And this is when you watch all this on this planet transitioning. And then you focus on how you want it to be. And then you see this golden white pink light as glittery, and you can see through it. That's flooding everything. Not temporarily. It appears to be permanent. And you can see it coming from everybody's body, all life forms on and above and below this planet, totally saturating everything. And you watch as the dishonesty, the pure evil, just completely vanishes. And you view it kind of like how would I put it? The most horrible thing that you could possibly imagine. And you're watching it completely be flooded with all of this light energy, this God-love light energy. And it's not like it's not like a downpour like you would get in a thunderstorm, and it ends, right? This is continual. This is what's transforming the planet. And she's loving it. And more of us are loving it. Because all of us, our key ingredient is love. And I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm talking way beyond that. And we're witnessing it. So in the quiet time of this meditation, witness it, not from the ego mind, but from the heart mind. Embrace it. Be it. Join you in the meditation and return to close self. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out of the mouth. Remain still. When any negative feeling like anger, sadness, despair, grief, depression, or guilt arises, just sit with it. Allow it to come into your body fully. Give it full permission to enter you. This way you become the master of it, instead of it taking you hostage and owning you. Giving your feelings space and time to be fully experienced will empower you completely. Have you ever tried it? Have you ever done it? When you allow a feeling and an experience to enter your body in the rawest form without the story attached to the feeling, you bring a deeper, more grounded energy into your body and mind. You become more present, alive, less controlling, fear-based, and more wonderful as a human being. Don't dwell on them or the story. Just allow each feeling and sensation to flow through. With patience and curiosity, you will soon discover a deeper peace that abides at your very core. You truly become the master of your emotional life, and you can feel all your feelings. Enjoy them all. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and following morning. And we will return here Wednesday, July 19, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, around 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest. Eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what is happening outside